We have a post from DNI Tulsi Gabbard. New. Whistleblower reveals how they were threatened by a supervisor to go along with the Obama-directed Russia hoax intelligence assessment, even though they knew it was not credible or accurate. The whistleblower refused. Yesterday, we released the whistleblower's first-hand account of what happened in the crafting of the January 2017 ICA. Their years-long effort to expose the egregious manipulation and manufacturing of intelligence carried out at the highest levels of government and the intelligence community, detailed in our previous releases, and how they were repeatedly ignored. Thank you to this courageous whistleblower and others who are coming forward now, putting their own well-being on the line to defend our democratic republic, ensure the American people know the truth, and hold those responsible accountable. So we have the whistleblower's explosive story and evidence, Tulsi Gabbard says here. And so there's a lot to break down. It's 19 pages. We're not going to go through the full thing, but we do have this. This is from the Federalist. Clapper crew threatened whistleblower who refused to sign off on fabricated intel assessment. A crony of then DNI James Clapper threatened to withhold a promotion from a senior intelligence official unless he concurred in the fake intelligence community assessment on Russia's meddling in the 2016 election. Notes obtained by the Federalist show. The notes made public for the first time today recount a conversation the top analyst in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence had with an unnamed superior who worked closely with then-Director James Clapper. The release of the notes represents the latest cache of documents declassified by the Trump administration official concerning the ICA, this we understand. According to a person familiar with the notes, the analyst documented his recollection of the conversation on March 31st, 2023, more than 6 years after the conversation occurred. The delay, the Federalist source explained, occurred because the analyst's efforts to share his concerns first with the Inspector General of the IC and then later with Special Counsel John Durham and Virginia Senator Mark Warner proved unsuccessful. Only later did the analyst receive an inquiry for more information about his claims, leading to the drafting of the summary of his recollections. Well, there you go.
I saw up there it mentioned the Steele dossier, so this is connected to everything that was in that intel packet.
The Steele dossier was just Oppo research, fake garbage, and they passed it off as real to go after Trump.
Yep.
I mean, I think this might be the biggest political conspiracy or scandal in the history of this country.
And it won't matter because in 2 days the internet will have moved on from it, and that's the sad part.
I mean, maybe we've been on the story for a few weeks now. We've been on the story actually for months. If you're talking about the statements made by Kash Patel and further made by Dan Bongino later on.
I feel like, but with the amount of information that comes out every day, people are going to start kind of judging these things on who actually is punished as opposed to all of the details coming out. Because you could have all the information in the world. If nobody's held accountable, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that don't think anything's going to happen, but I'm not convinced nothing's going to happen. And I'll put it this way: if something does happen, it just will feel like nothing. Like
yeah.
When we say nothing ever happens or nothing ever changes, Trump did get arrested several times. He did lose in court several times. And so he did he got arrested.
I think people think that nothing ever happens the other way. Nothing ever changes the other way. Democrats are never held responsible.
Indeed, but that sounds like a cop-out.
Maybe on like the state level, like the ones who are like attacking ICE agents might actually get arrested. But at the federal level, it doesn't feel like... And I think when people think of that idea, they're thinking of the Clintons, they're thinking of the Obamas, they're thinking of the Bidens.
Well, we have a poll up, and the question is... Obama will be charged. The options are Obama will be charged or nothing will happen, and nothing ever happens is at 63%. Defeating Obama will be charged. So even with all of this, the expectation for most people is that nothing will change. If that's the case, what are we doing here? Honest question.
Pray.
If the reality is most people are blackpilled on this issue, why don't we all talk about football? Go.
Well, I think there's this underlying hope that the system could change. I know deep down inside, I have this naive hope that the system can change if enough people are made aware. Do I think people like Clapper and guys like John Brennan are going to be held accountable? No, I think they might be held out there, but I question how accountable they could be held, given that they know, I mean, where the bodies have been buried for how many years, going back all the way to the Bush administration and really even before that. And so, they have a lot of ammunition on their side as well. But the more people become aware of what's going on, then the more people can take an active role in potentially changing the system, right? It starts with information.
Mary, do you care about this?
On the broad scale, yes, because I think that the right decision isn't just to disengage from politics altogether, obviously. Although I think that Trump's victory and the last 6 months have actually made people on the right more complacent, and it's made them disengage because they haven't been delivered what they were promised. And I think the path forward is actually to just start imagining what this ideological side, if you want to call it that, should look like past the point of Trump.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you care about Hillary Clinton in 2016 accusing Trump of colluding with the Russians?
No, and I don't think Trump does either, to be honest.
So
he was talking about getting retribution, and he has the option, he has the ability to do that, and he doesn't care to.
Yeah, do you care?
I care more about this information coming out in its entirety to people that don't know it than I do about them actually being prosecuted. I would rather see people who have kind of lived under the lie of these people, of this being some ridiculous movie of good and evil where one side is good and one side is evil and the side they happen to support just happen to be the good guys. I would rather see people who aren't currently awake to the evils of both sides.
The reason why I ask is because my theory as to why nothing ever changes is because you need only stall a development for a year or two before there's no longer any will behind it. Mm. So when this stuff first happens, everybody's like, whoa, this is BS. The Trump campaign's furious. You saw Trump on TV saying the Democrats are putting this out, it's not real. And the conservatives who supported Trump were angry they were being smeared. They got called white supremacists. It's been almost 10 years. It's been just about 9 years, just shy of 9 years. And so the people who lived it and were angry are focused on other things now.
Yeah.
There's no coalition anymore. Young people who are in their 20s. I mean, Mary, how old were you in 2016?
I was 15, 16.
Yeah. So right now, Trump is putting out information asking a bunch of, let's just say 15 to 20-year-olds to care about this fight as they're entering the political arena. And people who are older are probably like, dude, this is 10 years ago, okay? What's going on right now with jobs and the economy and the interest rates? Mm-hmm. And so that's why it's so hard to get accountability, because the criminals are like, we only need to stall for a couple of years, and then there will be no political will to go over this. And what are the Democrats going to say? You're focused on the past. I'm focused on the future.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of come to that sentiment with a lot of things recently, not just with this story, but with most things that involve the culture war, which is like, I'm focused on my life, like getting married, starting a family, and all the things that I can control. And the rest of it just kind of feels like, look, this is out of my control, and putting an extreme amount of focus on it just ends up hurting me. And there was a time, perhaps when, phones were new to your pocket and everybody started taking politics very seriously as some type of team sport mentality, where it really like resonated with people. And now people are like, well, I can't afford a home. The interest, everything is impossible jobs are scarce for a lot of people. Buying a home is impossible for the next generation. There's a lot of blackpilling when it comes to that part of society. Maybe the focus needs to go back there rather than this stuff. I
do have to admit, I am rather, what's the right word? Entertained when I go on Instagram and I'm looking at the stories from like friends of mine I've known for decades. And these are people who just like have never been involved in politics. And now it's like, I'll click their story and it's just Gaza. Like 700 stories about Gaza. And I'm like, well, I can see what current trend is, what current issue is in current year, because I know it's going to happen. 3 or 4 months, it's going to change, and the posts are all going to be about some other trending issue.
Meaning that those people, like a couple of years ago, they were posting Ukraine stories and...
Oh, yeah. And then before that, it was like Spice Girls.
I think you skipped a decade or two there.
Yeah.
Nope. No?
Bro,
those are millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all posting weird drama, stupid stuff.
I'm saying there was nothing before. It was Gaza, Ukraine, and
Didn't the Spice Girls do like a tour recently?
I have no idea.
I'm not kidding. They're posting about Spice Girls.
I feel like we would have known that. If they
When
did.
was
We're not doing our job.
Yeah, they're planning a tour in 2026.
Oh, okay. The plan.
30th year anniversary. And
Oh, that's gonna be an embarrassment, just like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
See, we need to get back to that type of corporate feminism. That's what we really need. Corporate backed,
no.
like where only the big.
2019, I was right.
Okay, so
Spice World 2019. It's exactly what I was talking about.
during COVID.
This was just before COVID.
That's why
Yeah.
nobody remembers
See.
because COVID.
Wow, look at that. But Posh wasn't there.
Then it's
Posh
not a
Spice.
Spice Girls tour. She was the
Yeah, they
best.
tried.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
Tried. Yeah, it's like millennials being like, "Can you believe the Spice Girls are back?" And they're posting that on Instagram. And then COVID happened, and everyone's brains turned to Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. No, we've never recovered from that weird cultural shock to the system.
And everybody just being awful to each other on Facebook during COVID for a myriad of reasons.
What are the expectations? I mean, when you say like that the one side has gone complacent, what are the expectations that didn't get met? I'm just curious where you were going.
So many. I mean, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, and I shouldn't say that I represent this huge swath of people, but I could not be more disappointed with Trump. I mean, it's just cruel joke after cruel joke at this point. He's thinking of pardoning Diddy, more money for Ukraine, more money for Israel. We're bombing Iran, expanding a new visa program for foreign illegal aliens. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And then you add the Epstein scandal on top of all that, and it's just wrapped in a little bow. And I could not be more disappointed.
He said mean things about Hillary Clinton. You know.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be bothered by it if he kept Hillary Clinton and Obama criminally accountable for their actions. I don't think he will. It wouldn't bother me, but it would feel a little self-indulgent, and it would feel like a huge distraction from what people really care about.
But I mean, kind of to your point, I mean, but in terms of people being focused on, what they can control, wouldn't you say that things are a lot better than where they were, say, just 2 years ago under Joe Biden, in terms of ability to have that kind of impact over your own personal domain in terms of your own civil liberties and ability to make choices and engage in the economy and have your free speech restored and things of that nature?
I think you could give Elon Musk more credit for restoring free speech in big tech platforms than Trump, but can you be specific about that?
I just think the culture has shifted back more to the middle where, you're not walking on eggshells over everything you say. We're not seeing as many men playing women's sports and, kind of this.
I mean, okay, I just feel like the right is desperate for something that appears to be a huge W. And I don't actually agree.
And the deregulation and,
with what you said about woke, basically. I don't actually agree that woke is dead, as everyone is saying. I think that it actually disguised itself more cleverly, and it's just covert woke now, and we don't even know that we're woke. It's just sort of a software update that everyone went through.
I agree.
We are woke.
Well, I don't know about
maybe
that.
not us in this room, but society has been dragged over to a level of wokeness that we're not going to return back from.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.